So the X-Men franchise has had its highs and lows throughout the years, ranging from films that are amazing to hilariously bad. More recently, it seems as if the X-Men spin-offs were becoming the better films in the franchise, and the main X-Men movie saga was dipping in quality. So now, the newest film in that saga, Dark Phoenix, has finally arrived. It's time to review it.
By the time you realize who they are,
Jeez!
it's too late.
Alright, sorry this review is late. I've just been busy with exams, and also I'm just lazy and I procrastinate, and all my videos are late. You get it. I had this review ready to go on June 27th. Problem was, the file stopped working for my editing software, so I couldn't save it as an MP4 file and couldn't upload it. And I was headed to Japan that day, so I just ended up going to Japan, and now I'm back in Australia, and I have to re-edit the entire video, so that's great. Also, spoilers for this review, but who cares? Anyway, so personally I haven't really been looking forward to this film. I heard test audiences didn't like it, and the trailers really didn't look that great to me. So now that Dark Phoenix is out, or X-Men Dark Phoenix as it's called in Australia. Why did they change the title? They did that for the new Godzilla as well. Instead of calling it Godzilla King of the Monsters, it's called Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters. Because that was so necessary, wasn't it? What are we talking about again? Oh yeah, Dark Phoenix, it was fine. It's not the worst X-Men movie, it's definitely not the best X-Men movie, but considering my expectations were in a toilet, this wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Still not that good though. Alright, let's go through the characters. As if this needs to be said, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender once again bring their A-game as Charles Xavier Magneto. That said, I didn't like Charles that much in this movie. He's meant to have a huge ego, an aspect of his character I wasn't a huge fan of, and felt was very underdeveloped. He also didn't tell Jean about her father because he thought it was going to be too hard on her, I guess. It's a very strange direction to take his character, and he also never really does anything to redeem himself. As for Magneto, I actually kinda loved him in this. I love how he was just pissed at everybody and everything. He was great. As for Sophie Turner as Jean, she was really good, but I felt as though her character wasn't explored enough. Was she in control of her powers or not? Was she evil? Was the Phoenix Force corrupting her mind, or was that Jessica Chastain manipulating her? All of this should have been explained better. As for her and Scott, they didn't have much chemistry at all, and maybe I'd forgive it if they established in Apocalypse that they'd become a couple, but they didn't. It's just suddenly in this movie, and I'm expected to care about it for some reason. Also, Ty Sheridan doesn't give that great of a performance, but that said, it's pretty hard to judge considering he has that visor covering his eyes. Speaking of bad performances, Nicholas Hoult wasn't very good in this, which was surprising because he was pretty great in the other ones. But yeah, he's not great, and the scene in the kitchen was cringeworthy, like something you'd see in one of the Arrowverse shows. Jennifer Lawrence was pretty bad in this. She gets like 3 scenes in this, and then dies after falling on a fence, and she barely has the blue makeup on. Even though she's supposed to be unafraid of looking the way she does, it's just so clear Jennifer Lawrence doesn't care about this series anymore. And I don't really blame her. And not to sound like a Grace Randolph here, but Jessica Chastain was really bad. Which was surprising because she's a great actress. I think a lot of it could be chalked up to the writing though. Her character, Vuk, or Vuk, whatever, was also super weak and had no development. But let's talk about some of the stuff I liked in this movie. Most of the action and effects were great, the CGI was pretty fantastic, which is surprising for an X-Men movie. The scene with the X-Men saving the astronauts was pretty good, the fight outside Jean's house was really good, but the lighting was way too bright and made it look ugly. The New York fight was pretty good, although there was some shaky cam here and there. But the final fight on the train I thought was fantastic. It had good uses of the X-Men powers, it was brutal, but it was just really well shot and choreographed overall. If the rest of the movie had the same energy as that train fight, then I would have loved it. As for what I didn't like, the dialogue was pretty bad and cliche most of the time. Quicksilver was wasted again. All the Apocalypse plot threads are ignored, namely Psylocke doesn't return even though they teased her returning, and Quicksilver doesn't get to tell Magneto he's his son, which was teased as well. Also, the comic book accurate costumes at the end were scrapped for these suits that look terrible. Also, the ending doesn't make any sense. So Jean sacrificed herself to kill Jessica Chastain and she explodes, and then Charles retires to do whatever with Eric in Paris. And then the movie ends. So how does it tie in with the ending of X-Men Days of Future Past? Because at the end of that, it takes place after Dark Phoenix. And Jean Grey's alive, and Professor X is still working at the school. And also in Logan, which takes place after the ending of Days of Future Past, they mentioned that the events on the Statue of Liberty happened, even though in that timeline Mystique died and Magneto isn't a bad guy anymore. They also say in Logan that there hasn't been a mutant born in the past 25 years, but we've clearly seen the ending of Days of Future Past, which takes place in the early 2020s, that there are students, children, who are mutants. And also, how did Professor X go bold in the original timeline if he never fought Apocalypse? Or did he fight Apocalypse? Also, which timeline does Deadpool take place in? Also, when does the New Mutants take place? Does it take place in the original timeline, the alternate timeline, a different timeline? Is it one-off? Also, will New Mutants ever come out? Also, what happened to Gambit? Did that get cancelled? Oh yeah, and why does nobody ever age? Overall, Dark Phoenix wasn't a very good movie, but I was pretty entertained. And it's definitely not the worst X-Men movie. I'd actually say it's better than The Last Stand. I'm gonna give Dark Phoenix a 5 out of 10. Hey everyone, I just wanted to provide you all with a bit of an update with the channel and whatnot. First of all, I was sick while I recorded my review, which is why my voice sounded even more monotone than usual, and I'm also sick right now. This video was meant to come out earlier this weekend, but I came down with something that was really bad. Made me stop eating and just stop moving, and all I did was lie in bed all weekend. I've honestly never felt that sick before in my entire life. It was really bad. So that also stopped me from working on this video, along with exams and Japan. It's like the whole universe is just begging me not to put out this review. But even without me being sick and all, it's no secret that I'm terrible at making up time for these YouTube videos, and I feel like I owe all of you an apology for that. And I'm going to be more organized moving forward and take into account school and everything else. I'm planning to release my 2018 movie recap video sometime in August. I've been working on that for a while now, and I just really want it to be perfect and not feel rushed or anything. I'm still planning to do a Hellboy review, don't know when that's gonna come out though. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update, so until next time I guess, bye.